Hello, everybody. My name is Scotty O'Shea, and I am one of your hosts of the Diving Deep podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host John Bird. John, how you doing?
Uh, I could be doing better. I did not sleep last night, but we have a guest.
We do, Ethan, our good friend Ethan. Ethan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I also didn't sleep a lot last night. I only got like 3 hours of sleep.
Oh no,
but still some sleep, I guess.
I was at a wedding yesterday, so I slept good. I got to leave school at noon. Didn't get home till like 8:45. Was on Xbox till 12:30. But I was out cold like a rock all night.
Seems like all of us had fairly late nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So today we're discussing a movie. That's all I'm gonna say. A movie called Rango. This movie came out in 2011 and stars Johnny Depp as a lizard named Rango, who becomes the sheriff of a town of animals in the midst of their drought in the wild, wild west. Now, what did you guys think of the movie?
I was surprised. Like, I remembered seeing it from when I was a kid. Like, I'm pretty sure it came out in 2011, right?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
So I saw it when I was a lot younger, but I didn't really remember much, obviously. But I remembered it being worse than what I watched last night, and I had a lot of fun watching it. It was genuinely a really good experience.
Yeah, I agree. I probably saw it back in 2012 when you could rent discs from Netflix. I think I got it through that. And I remembered nothing. I remembered that he had a fish, the Mr. Tim's.
Yep.
That's all I
Yep.
remembered. That is all I remembered. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. John, what did you think?
So I was kind of watching it very late last night, so I couldn't fully really, process it, but from what I did get from it, it was a lot better than I do remember it being. I got there's a lot more humor in it than I actually realized.
Thespian?
So,
That's illegal in 7 states. There were some good jokes in this. But it did not feel for kids. The amount of, noose imagery that was in this movie, and the armadillo just cut in half. I'm shocked that they were able to keep this at a PG rating.
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel like your normal kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had some darker themes and tones.
Yeah.
And it was still good though.
Yeah.
I was astounded.
So Ethan, we got a little tradition on the podcast where everything we do, we rank it out of 100. So what would you give Rango out of 100?
I'm not a movie guy. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I more play games in my free time. However, I thoroughly enjoyed Rango, and I think I'd have to give it either within the range of a 87 to a 92.
Wow. John, Rango, out of 100.
I give it a solid 92 as well.
Nice.
I'm
gonna give it an 83. I know John's jaw just dropped. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it started to lose me a little bit when it turned into the city, and it just it took me out of it. Because I was just lost in this illusion of the desert and the west and all that. And then, the construction, the mayor was, planning to become, this capitalist overlord. And, then it shows the city and all that. And I was just that's not where I was expecting this to go. But then, the stuff with the spirit of the west definitely won me over. That is without a doubt my favorite scene.
I'd have to agree. It definitely helped flesh out his character a lot more, I think, of Rango.
It defined his journey.
Yeah.
And that was Timothy Oliphant who played the Spirit of the West, Cobb Vanth from The
Really?
Mandalorian, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
This movie had a really good cast. Obviously, Johnny Depp is Rango. Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus, was the roadkill guy.
Oh, the armadillo.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant was the other guy. And there's some other really big names who I'm kind of blanking on at the moment. But good movie. No, this was a Nickelodeon movie, like Nickelodeon movies. Did you pick up on that?
Really?
Yeah,
I
like obviously it released in theaters. It wasn't like a Nickelodeon channel exclusive, but Nickelodeon has made some pretty interesting movies over the years. They've collaborated like with things like this, and then they go and make like really, really bad movies. I don't have any off the top of my head. Oh, they made that movie 4 years ago or so called Monster Trucks. Do either of you have any recollection
I
of
think
that?
I remember that. Was it like it was like
A truck.
teenage kid?
Yep, a truck
With a trunk and a monster
Yes,
alien or
a
whatever
monster
called
truck.
into it. Yeah,
and that a monster lives in.
yeah, I remember that. I never watched it for obvious reasons, but I remember that.
And then they did another one like 2019 called Playing with Fire, which stars John Cena and Keegan-Michael Key as firefighters who essentially have to adopt these children who come to the station. Like, definitely some hit or miss stuff with Nickelodeon movie
Yeah.
productions. This
You
is
got Rango.
this is definitely
and then you got
towards
monster
yeah.
trucks.
This is definitely at the top. I'd say this and the first SpongeBob movie are their peak.
Yeah, SpongeBob was
Yeah.
a good movie. Yeah.
So the first one is so good. It never fails to make me laugh. So one of the things I did want to touch upon is the style of this movie. Everything is so beautiful, and it's a tragedy that we don't get more animated movies like this.
Yeah, one thing I really liked is, though like it's still animated, I liked how real it sort of looked. Like how the characters weren't just animals; they were also kind of like human-animal hybrids.
I agree.
And I think it gave them more depth and definitely made the town feel like more Western and
100%.
Desolate.
John, what did you think about the beautiful animation style?
I like Jake the Snake. I thought he was pretty cool.
Jake the Snake
When
was
he
pretty
pulled
damn
out
cool.
when he pulled out the machine gun out of his tail.
Oh. And also, the hawk, I didn't realize the hawk at the beginning had like a metal part to his beak.
Oh,
Or
really?
something like that. Yeah, he has like but it like looks like the Western kind of like engraved metal, so I thought that was pretty cool as well.
And the director of this movie also directed the earlier Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So that's, I assume why Johnny Depp was in it, because the director reached out and was like, hey, I got this role, that's perfect for you. Because that's kind of what Rango is. He's definitely less foolish Western Johnny Depp instead of being like a pirate, or not Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, I think when these notable actors get these like sort of unknown roles, like I try to think, am I seeing them as the actor or am I seeing them as the character they're portraying? And I think in this, Johnny Depp really did a good job of portraying Rango.
Yeah.
And not just being Johnny Depp playing a lizard.
Yeah, like, in Pixar's Onward, Chris Pratt was just playing Chris Pratt in that, for example.
Yeah.
Compared to this, where you have a very well-known actor who's able to perfectly mask themselves through their voice acting talents.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And Johnny Depp is just like one of those chameleon actors anyways, who just transforms himself perfectly into any role they choose.
Yes, he, like, what was
Jack
it?
Sparrow, this, Grindelwald, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, so many different movies where he just is completely different characters and with no connection, no similarities.
Wasn't he in Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, he was the Mad Hatter.
Yeah. I liked him in that role. I don't really remember that well, but that did stick out to me.
Now, boys, are we ready for tonight?
Oh, I'm very excited for tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed A Quiet Place 1.
I watched Quiet Place Part 1 again on Thursday, and I'm so pumped. It's such a good movie, and I hear this one's just as good. So,
yeah, I've been seeing pretty good reviews for it recently.
John, are you excited?
I hate jump scares.
I'm kind of not big on horror either, but yeah.
Part 1 is the only horror film I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing Part 2 in the theater, so it's...
I've seen it, but yeah.
It's definitely going to be an experience.
Scotty, you haven't seen, like, Halloween?
Oh, God, no.
Five Nights.
I haven't either. Yeah.
Well, guys, we got to go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie when that comes out.
Oh my God, we have to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, guys.
Ethan's a big FNAF fan.
Oh, you know it. All the games, every single one of them, 100% too. 10,000 hours in total.
Professional gamer alert.
You know it.
While we're at it, everyone should go follow Chili33 on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Chili33.
There we go.
I rarely stream, but on the off chance you follow me, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Rango.
My favorite scene, I gotta say though, is at the end when he has the confrontation with Jake, and he says, "It only takes one bullet," and then Jake says, "You ain't got the nerve." And try it. And that gave me chills. I was like, "Damn, this is a really good movie."
Like "You ain't got the nerve," such like a Western trope, like lines like that, but it just executes all of them so well.
It didn't feel out of place in an animated movie about a lizard.
I would honestly argue that this is one of the best Westerns of all time.
I would I don't watch a lot of Westerns, but I would have to agree.
A lot of Westerns are just Westerns for the sake of Westerns, and they're just so bad, and they're so generic and all that. But this is a Western, but with animals going through a drought in the desert, and it's got good characters, beautiful animation, compelling story. It's got all of it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The one thing I wasn't a huge fan of is the romance between Rango and
Beans.
Yeah. It just kind of felt like it was there to be there because, there's got to be a romance side plot. I don't know.
I do kind of agree with that.
It felt unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. John, what do you think about the relationship?
I hate Beans with a burning passion. How has a lizard whose instinct is to freeze and be paralyzed for like a good solid 3 minutes alive in this world beats me, to be honest with you.
That is...
Yeah, what he was like molting layer after layer after layer at the beginning, and then that just stopped.
It's great.
And the opening scene is so good when he's like, he's the director and he's the star and all that. And he gets thrown out of the thing. And I really liked the conversations that he has with the armadillo and the other side of the road and how he gets there by the end of the movie. I was so happy when the armadillo showed up again.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny how literal being like thrown out of his world and into a new one it is, with him just being tossed out of the car and
into the
boom,
desert.
Whole new life.
Yeah. And I loved the mariachi band that narrated it. That was so good.
Very enjoyable.
When they were hanging on... Did you see when they were in the jail? They were hanging on nooses. I don't get how they got away with that.
Yeah. John, you're looking pretty tired over there.
John's going to fall asleep during the movie.
No, he is so out of it right now.
Yeah, man.
We're going to get to Chili's and John's just going to plummet face down.
He's going to conk out right there and then.
And then we will mess with him. We will steal his phone and upload to his private Snapchat story.
We're going to text all the girls on the snap asking them out.
That's evil.
John, did you change the layout of your room?
Yeah.
At least from when I was there, I don't know.
I believe so. I have changed it quite a bit.
I interrupted you. I'll let you go.
Yeah. Speak.
What? Oh. I was gonna say, this feels a lot like the turtle feels a lot like the Pinkertons in Red Dead 2. And I was just gonna say that Red Dead 2 copied Rango's plot.
Never played that one.
Okay, so you're kind of right, which is weird. So basically, there's these characters in Red Dead 2 who are like, so the main character is like an old Western guy, like, the future is coming and there's no place for you anymore. like
That's
exactly
literally
what
exactly
the turtle
what he
would
says.
say.
There's no room for the gunslinger and the sheriff anymore.
Yeah, it's. Oh my god. There's $1 million lawsuit on their hands.
I'm gonna look that up right now. Rango Red Dead 2. Let's see what comes up. Rango Red Dead Redemption.
They could make that movie, Rango 2, Red Dead or Redemption.
Never
A
mind.
crossover.
No one has said directed that. Lots of it is about people making art of Rango in Red Dead. Look here, I mean.
Oh, that's
wow,
beautiful.
that's actually cool.
Yeah.
That's profile picture worthy.
And you know how in Red Dead 2 there's like that one town that you stumble into and it's just inbred people?
Oh,
That's basically
okay.
the moles. That's the moles, people. It's the moles.
Nice,
it's
John.
all crossing over.
So we got him.
It's all making sense now.
I kind of didn't get what was going on at the part where they just like randomly left the town.
Well, they were trying to get the water back.
Oh. Right, sorry. I kind of like zoned out for a good 20 minutes and then I got right back into it. I don't know what I did, but
I won't lie. Like after I was playing League of Legends,
Of course
while I
you
was
were.
watching the
Of course
movie,
you were.
I had it on this screen and I was playing League there.
you pro gamer.
Yeah, but I after I finished my game, I got into it, so I don't remember too much from like the beginning half. But yeah,
It definitely felt longer than just an hour and 40 minutes.
yeah, it definitely did.
Its pacing is slow, but not in a terrible way. It still works. It's not like movies where it's really fast and then it just completely slows down to like a screeching halt. It went with a slow pace and stuck with it, and I got respect for that because not many movies can pull off very slow paces other than like slow burns and things. Obviously, the point of them is having a slow pace, but
Yeah,
this was not a slow
It's
burn.
just-
It was just a movie with a slow pace, and it did it well.
yeah. There was like times where I was like, "Wow, this is kind of taking a while," and then the payoff was better because I had more time to understand and develop the characters through the slow pacing.
Yeah, I think that's what the slow pacing did the character development wonders. Because if you take out lots of those random moments, you lose a little. You definitely lose a good amount. Yeah. The water, I don't know why, it looked so beautiful. Like the water was animated so good.
I look at my water over here and I'm like kind of disappointed.
Yeah, that's not what
Like,
Rango is
dang.
after.
Yeah, like, yeah, gross.
I loved the scene in the bar, the first one, when he like rumbles into town, just asks for a glass of water, and everyone starts laughing. But then he gets the cactus juice, and he embodies the character of Sheriff Rango. So I love how Johnny Depp is a very talented actor, regardless of like the controversies around him, regardless of what you think. He really is one of the best actors working today. He's not really
completely agree.
Unfortunately, he's not really working anymore, but he is one of the
the
best actors to ever act. That's just like a fact, in my opinion. So when he played a character who was a lizard, who is an actor who pretends to be the sheriff to these people and to be their hero, so good. Because we see him as the actor, we see him as the director at the beginning, and he uses those skills that we see in the first scene and makes this whole new life for himself.
It's cool seeing an actor play a character who's playing a character.
The dude who's the dude playing the dude.
When he comes back, it's like he's no longer playing a character anymore. He's become Rango, and it's a really cool transition to see.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, John?
Poor John just hasn't slept in 48 hours.
I think Rango, or what, like, how he didn't have a name and like he was just playing all these different characters. I think he had some kind of personality disorder where he just couldn't figure out who he was, because like he started going off on a bunch of random tangents at some points in time, and then at the very end he was like, you know what, I am Rango.
Yeah, he was definitely a little lonely at the beginning because he was having these full conversations with like inanimate objects.
The dead bug in his water pond.
Yeah, that's another thing. How did they get away with showing a disembodied bug? Like,
I don't-
one of the things was pulled off. It was ripped in half. Like, one of the legs was gone.
I honestly, I need to see the criteria for
What
like,
makes a PG
PG-13,
movie.
PG, yeah.
Have you seen Ants, like with a Z?
I have not.
You seen that movie? It's like,
I've heard it's
think I
just
have,
Bug's Life, but
but-
worse.
oh, it's insane. There's like these bigger bugs that like absolutely rip apart the other ants, and like this like child ant has a conversation with like one of his beheaded friends who's still talking to him while he's like bleeding out. It's quite a good movie.
Yeah.
I believe it's either Ants with a Z or it's a different movie. I don't remember, but it's one of those.
Like, one of the other movies which seems to have like a problem with its rating is Shazam. At some points, it's like the most super kid-friendly movie that you can ever imagine. And then the 7 Deadly Sins are eating these guys' heads off. And they're in like a strip club. And all of this stuff. It's like, I remember watching that for the first time. I watched it with a person named Jack. And we were like looking at each other like, what is this movie? Like, it's a good movie. I really enjoy Shazam. But yeah, like there's just this weird thing in Hollywood with ratings that some movies are allowed to get away with things that other movies would not be allowed to get away with.
Yeah, I definitely think that with Rango, they looked animated movie and were like, it's got to be for kids, so they just slapped the PG rating on it.
Yeah.
And,
The MFPA, I believe, is the people who rates things. They just said, "Oh, Nickelodeon movie, with starring Johnny Depp as the lizard. Give it the PG."
There's no way this could be dark in any
Yeah.
way.
There's no way that within the first 10 minutes, the audience, who is going to mainly consist of children, will see an armadillo that has been run over by a car and has essentially been flattened and is cut in half.
Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff, I guess.
Very interesting stuff. I can't lie. But this was just
John, you look like
so much
you look like you got something in your head,
What?
John.
Oh, I was thinking about a different Nickelodeon movie, Nacho Libre.
They did make that. Yeah, they did.
It's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
It's Jack Black as a wrestler, right?
It's Jack Black as he's playing a Mexican person, so he puts on a fake Mexican accent, and he's a Christian, and they don't want him to wrestle, but he wrestles for the orphanage, even though it's against the religion, and he like grabs this homeless guy off the street and makes him his like sidekick, and they go around wrestling people, and it's basically Rocky, but it's so funny. I love that movie.
I have not seen that movie.
I've heard
Nor Rocky, actually.
I've heard the legend of Nacho Libre, but it is not one that I have seen myself.
Oh, it's so good. You gotta take it as a
I haven't
comedy.
seen a lot of movies. Like, I haven't seen The Lion King, actually. Yeah, I know. I knew that you would do that expression, Scotty. Yeah.
You haven't seen The Lion King?
I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Have you seen
like,
Aladdin?
No.
I am displeased, even. But no, you're too busy playing League of Legends with your Yumi statue.
You
Yep,
you know
there
it.
it is.
You know
There
it.
is.
Yeah.
The school year's coming to an end.
Surprisingly,
Me and John,
it
we
felt like it never would.
We started this podcast. I believe I came to you with the idea of it, John, at the end of January.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's now the end of May.
Time flies, huh?
It does.
it really does.
I don't know what this year did, but it felt so slow, but
It felt like it was
so
connected
fast.
with last year.
Yeah.
It felt like they were the same entity because of the similar way we were still in school.
Yeah, summer just did not exist.
Yeah, because if we're being honest, the end of last year was basically summer. It you just had to log into a thing every once in a while.
Yeah. I remember, I have such vivid memories of last, March through June. I don't know why, but I used to, the Zooms, me and a friend named Andrew, the redheaded Andrew,
He's in my criminal justice.
Yes, he is. We had to do a presentation on Jane Eyre for English, And we had to do it after class one day because we were running out of time. And then a certain person who goes by the name of Jack stayed on the Google Meet and recorded the entire presentation on his phone. So, John, when you're in math with Jack, ask him, please, if he has that recording of me and Andrew giving our presentation about Jane Eyre.
What a lovely individual named Jack.
He loves Sea of Thieves and Grand Theft Auto 5.
It seems so, seeing as I got notifications for it last night.
Uh-oh.
Oh, in the Pirate Central Discord server.
Mm-hmm. I should probably get Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I'm getting it soon when I get that paycheck, brother.
Money, money, money.
Damn.
Bam.
We got 10 people on the server. 9 plus a bot named Jack Sparrow. Another Johnny Depp character. Just like Rango.
Rango.
What a
man,
great
what a
segue
great-
that was.
Yeah. Got a little off topic there.
Oh, you have not seen some of the tangents that we've gone on in this show, Ethan. Off topic is nothing for us.
Exactly.
Oh, we're getting a Snapchat from the person who we are watching A Quiet Place Part 2 with later.
Oh,
in
this
the
loser.
evening.
So
Yeah, let's
Scotty.
talk about this. Let's talk about this.
So Scotty, boys. Okay, yeah. So earlier today, I bought Caleb something, a DLC for a game.
Oh my
And
god!
It was $40.
You
by the
spent
way.
$40 on Caleb.
Yeah, and I was like, fine, I'll pay for you. So I was about to spend $55 on that kid.
Oh my god.
Talk about net worthing.
So pretty much,
Really up there.
to our audience out there, love you to death, as John coined so long ago. We are going to see A Quiet Place tonight with our friend Caleb. And my mom's like, hey, I'll pay for you boys' tickets so you don't have to worry about doing it there. Just make sure that your friends pay you when you get to the theater so we can get the money back and stuff. They're like, yeah, that's cool. And then everyone's like, yeah, that's cool. John says cool, Ethan says cool, Caleb says cool. We buy the tickets. But then I get a text from Caleb. I don't have cash. So we're like, Caleb, you very, very not intelligent person.
Mm-hmm.
I said a no-no
Yeah,
word.
Ethan said a no-no word to him. You really did. And Ethan, like the kind soul you are, offered to pay.
But all of a sudden, he's got money.
No.
He's too good for me. He's too good.
He's finessed us. He finessed us, guys.
He pulled out the jukes.
He pulled out.
You
the
know
Uno
who
reverse
else is
card.
good at juking?
Who?
Rango.
Rango does have
Nah.
the juice. When he was outrunning the hawk in the glass bottle, man. And then was that a frog that he was with? It just
Yeah,
a
it was
blob.
a toad, I think.
He just looked like
Yeah.
a blob. That toad, he got what was coming. No room in the inn.
Entirely deserved. A scene I loved though was the canyon chase scene
Yes.
where they were running
And
away with the
Ride of the
bottle.
Valkyries started playing.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
This is such a great movie, man.
I was so surprised. I was just expecting kind of a kiddie movie that my parents would take me to see when I was 7 years old.
And
so,
we got something so much better.
It was so great.
Rango. I was expecting him to have like a Western accent. I was a little. If Johnny Depp just added the slightest Western flair to the voice, it would have been.
I think if
beautiful.
you did partway through the movie, it would have been better.
Yeah.
To try and more fit in.
At the beginning scene, like when he's with his friends, he's
Yeah.
speaking in like a normal American accent, and then when he gets to the spittoon, he just begins to talk a little like this.
Yeah.
Or like in like a slightly Western-fied accent.
That would have been very cool to see.
It really would have. We've already been going for half an hour. Whoa.
Time flies
That-
when you're talking about Rango.
Yes, it does. That went by pretty quick. I'm not even gonna lie. And Zoom
Yeah.
is being poopy as always. 40-minute limit. We have 7:50 left. So if we want to give our closing thoughts on Rango, Ethan, why don't you go first?
Well, it was a genuinely good experience that left me, I'm going to use this word, astounded, and I would not hesitate to watch it again.
John, Rango.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, man.
I'd say... oh,
You good?
my throat hurts.
All right.
I yelled a lot last night, so I'm quite,
Out of it.
very bad at speaking. But if I had to say something about Rango, I would say Rango is just, it's like one of these oddball things where you finally get something good out of it, and it's so good that you just don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And that's Rango for me.
This is such a slept-on movie. So if you have not seen Rango, you shall watch Rango. It is on Netflix. It's a great movie, and yeah, you guys summed up perfectly. It's a slept-on western that is truly beautiful in every sense of the word. The animation is next-level stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and like Ethan said, would not hesitate to watch again.
Truly. Before you close it out, Scotty, I have one last thing to say to the dear viewer. I tip my hat to you. One legend to another.
Ethan has tipped his fedora. His hypothetical fedora. My sister, I'm pretty sure, started blasting her Bing Crosby Christmas album on her record player.
That's lovely.
I'm going to investigate that when we're
Pretty
done.
awesome.
So, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Diving Deep Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at divingdeep_pod. And you can find Ethan on Twitch at twitch.tv/chili33. So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week when we discuss Raya and the Last Dragon with our friend Mark. John, close out the show.
Donde está la biblioteca? Adios.